What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best, and in today's video I'm here to talk to you guys about Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket and a statement that was put out on the official Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket Twitter account that is in regards to trading and how they're going to be changing that feature moving forward. Obviously trading was introduced into the game not at launch, which is kind of odd considering it's literally in the name of the game, but whatever. Not really much of a trading card game if you can't trade, right? They added the feature and it was extremely underwhelming and disappointing and overall just garbage. Like, this is called a spade. A spade is trash, right? Pretty much no one's happy about it, excited about it, and there's so many things that they could change and improve. And while it looks like they're beginning to take a very small baby step in the right direction, so let's go ahead and take a look at this statement and I'll talk about it. So it reads, trading feature update. Thank you for sharing your feedback on the trading feature in Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. We're continuing to read your comments and investigate ways to improve the feature. Also, let me go ahead and zoom in here a little bit more. Yeah, that'll do. I'm getting flashbang right now by this bright white, but it's all right. So we're continuing to read your comments and investigate ways to improve the feature. Today, we'd like to introduce the following updates to trading that will be implemented by the end of autumn 2025, which, why is it going to take that long? Who knows? Because I just feel like there's a lot of things that they could do that shouldn't take that much time, but whatever. With these changes, we hope that trading cards between players will be more accessible and enjoyable. First and foremost, removal of trade tokens. Now, this is a good thing and also kind of a funny thing because, as you all know, as you're aware, they introduced another in-game currency that you're required to spend in order to trade in the first place, which comes with its own issues in and of itself. But it's just like, it was just one more way for them to basically monetize the game more, because in order to get those trade tokens, you can earn them here or there, like they give them away like some events or, you know, as a little gift during certain updates or whatever. But the main way for you to acquire this currency was by basically sacrificing other cards in order to acquire that currency, so that you could trade those cards. And we did a whole video talking about that and how many cards it takes and everything like that, and how you have to basically trade like 5 cards of the same, like you have to sacrifice like 5 of a card just to trade one. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. And now they're removing trade tokens. Trade tokens will be completely removed and players will no longer need to exchange cards to obtain the currency required for trading. This is a good thing, but also, like, they have already done multiple times where like a little bonus or a gift or reward that they have given us in game has been trade tokens. So now it's essentially as if we got nothing in those instances or whatever, right? So it's just kind of, you know, and it's their own fault for introducing such a bullshit system in the first place and such a whack-ass currency, but it is what it is. Forgive my language. I'm normally a little bit cleaner in my Pokemon videos than I am in my other content, just because it's Pokemon and I just feel like, anyway, it is what it is. Instead, trading cards of 3 diamond, 4 diamond, and 1-star rarity will now require shine dust, which I'm in favor of. This is how I originally speculated and anticipated trading was going to work, and it's why when I was playing the game, I wasn't spending any of my shine dust, because I always said I'm waiting to see how trading is going to work, because I suspected that shine dust was going to be the currency that they would use in order to trade. It just feel like it made sense. You have an excess of shine dust in the game, especially if you're a whale like myself. I have currently like around 400,000 shine dust, and that's after I actually did finally spend a bunch of it in order to flare a bunch of my cards. Yeah, my homie Afro, who has literally over 1 million, and it's like, you don't really have a whole lot to spend it on if you're not flaring cards. And I was like, surely this will be used for something, like maybe trading, and that ended up not being how it worked out, but now it is actually going to be the case. So when you open a booster pack, shine dust will automatically be earned if you obtained a card that is already registered in your card decks. Currently, shine dust is also required to obtain flares, so we are looking into increasing the amount offered, since it will also be needed for trading. Altogether, this change should allow you to trade more cards than you could before this update. Now, obviously, the biggest things when it comes to trading is like, outside of the currency required for it in and of itself, the limitations on which cards you're able to trade and anything is a big thing. They do touch on it very briefly here toward the end, so we'll talk about it. But yeah, so trading 3 diamond, 4 diamond, 1-star cards, you'll now use shine dust, and they're actually increasing the amount of shine dust that you earn in game, which I personally don't think is necessary, but it's not like I'm upset about it either. Like, I guess I'm just indifferent. You guys let me know, because again, I have different perspective, privileged whale, big spender here, so I have an excess of shine dust as it is. If you're a free-to-play player, I guess that also vastly depends on how much shine dust is going to be required, actually, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how like a lot of the free-to-play players or light spenders about how much shine dust you have sitting around at any given moment. And if you guys feel like you have a lot of it, and how frequently you guys flare cards and everything, but do you feel like the game needs to give you even more? Just out of curiosity. But I guess again, that will also depend on how much trading costs, like how much shine dust you have to use in order to trade a card. So I guess time will tell on that matter. Moving on, so trade tokens you currently own can be converted to shine dust when the item is removed from the game, which I guess is cool. I have traded maybe 2 or 3 times with my girlfriend because she doesn't spend nearly as much on the game as I do. I had a few things that she actually did want, so we've traded a couple of times. But for the most part, outside of like those 2 or 3 times, all the trade tokens that I've earned are unused. So I have a couple thousand of them sitting, 2,000-3,000, I don't know exactly, but like thousands of tokens just sitting there that I'm just probably wasn't ever going to do anything with for the most part. So I guess I'll gladly take the shine dust. And there are no changes in how 1 diamond and 2 diamond rarity cards are traded. Additional updates in development. A feature will be added that allows you to share cards you're interested in trading for via the in-game trading function. So the way it currently works is that you can't like say like, hey, these are the cards I'm looking for. Like you can't like post up, this is the card I have for offer. I'm interested in trading for any of these if you have it. There's currently no way to do that. From my understanding, from my interpretation of this, there will now be a feature where you can say, these are the cards I'm looking for. I would gladly trade this card for that card if you have one of these. Sorry, my hair keeps attaching itself to my eyelash, long hair problems. Which very welcome, like something that seems so basic and obvious that wasn't in the game or wasn't in this feature when it launched, and they're finally adding that. There's still, I guess, no chat or like way to communicate via like text or words or anything like that, but this should help to some degree. We hope that these changes will make trading cards more accessible and allow more players to enjoy making trades. Again, baby step in the right direction in my opinion. In addition to the changes above, we are also looking into how to accommodate cards that are currently unavailable for trades, such as promo cards and 2-star rarity cards. Keep an eye out for more information about this topic in the future. We look forward to hearing your feedback as updates are released and remain committed to developing the best possible Pokemon TCG Pocket experience. Thank you for being part of our community. As you guys know, I really enjoy this game. I enjoy playing it, and I definitely enjoy the collecting aspect. And some people say it's really more of a collecting game than a trading game, which you're definitely right. And a lot of people kind of just treat it as collecting card simulator because a lot of people, from what I understand, they log in, rip open their packs, and then they log out, which, you know, I think the addition of like a rank mode and any more future content, they're doing these events and everything like that. I think the game's going in the right direction for the most part, but they definitely are not without flaw and have made their mistakes. And I think the trading feature was a huge mistake, not because of its existence, but how poorly it was implemented. But this is huge. Okay, now I don't want to get my hopes up too high, and I don't want to give them too much praise or credit because time will tell what this really means. Because yeah, that sound good, but we gonna play the waiting game with this, wait and see. But we are looking into how to accommodate cards that are currently unavailable for trades, such as promo cards and 2-star rarity cards. I feel like I've been very fair to Pokemon Company, you know, when it comes to this game and trading and everything like that. Definitely been critical. You know, I'm not afraid to be vocal or voice my opinion, but the trading feature currently sucks. And I talked at length in previous videos about how the feature could be improved, and even when it comes to like the limitation on what cards you're able to trade, I'm like, okay, you don't want us to allow us to trade crown rare cards. I can understand that. I could get behind that. Like realistically, like you could figure out ways to make it still reasonable to trade every rarity card in the game, and it just costs significantly more of the in-game currency, or you have to have this many of them, your account has to be this many days old, you have to be friends with this person for this long, you know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely things you could do in game to like sort of justify it and not make it so that you lose too much on your end, because after all, it is a business at the end of the day. Their objective is to make money. So I've been like trying to be, you know, understanding of that, right? But you don't want us to trade crown rare cards. Okay, I get it. I don't care too much about that anyway. Immersive rares, okay, it's kind of sucks, but like still some level of understanding there. But when it came to the promos and the 2-stars, it's like, yo, like, okay, at that point I'm like, we got to do better, because the system was so bad, nobody was benefiting from it. Drop me a comment down below right now. If you're currently an active, or even if you aren't playing the game anymore, if you've at least been playing it since the trading feature was introduced, how many trades have you done since they introduced this feature? How many of you out there haven't used the trading feature at all? And if you have, how much has it actually helped you? How much fun have you had using this feature? I expect that most of you either haven't used it or used it once or twice and haven't touched it again since, because it's like, oh, well, I happen to have a friend who has a card that I want that they're willing to trade, or vice versa. I had something that, you know, I had like four 4 or 5 of these, whatever, and I traded it to a friend. That we just happen to be missing this 1-star rarity. But the 2-star cards are obviously the ones that most people are chasing the majority of the time. Like obviously the immersives and the crown rares, of course, like those are the highest rarity cards in the game. But for the most part, people, at least in my opinion, are probably hunting more for those full art cards more than anything else. I know that's certainly what I am. And also when it comes to the promos, there are promo cards that I don't have just from like when the game first started, just because I wasn't fortunate enough to get them. I think I didn't play the game right when it released anyway. So there's a couple there's like 2 that I'm missing that I think that came out before I started playing the game, because I didn't play it like immediately at launch. And then the Lapras, the promo Lapras from very early on in the game, I did that event 30-40 times. I forget the exact number, but it was definitely over 30. I opened like 30 plus packs and I never got the Lapras. Wasn't because I wasn't around, wasn't for a lack of trying, just had really bad luck. I just didn't manage to get one, and I was really hoping, I had really had hopes that promos would be available for trade. And like to some degree, I kind of understand, like I am somebody who indulges in exclusivity. When I have something that not everybody has, I feel good about it, whether that's emblems in game, certain skins, cosmetics, and likewise when it comes to cards. Oh, this card is like kind of rare, not everybody has this, or this card came out like this point in the game, so you don't have it if you weren't playing the game. But simultaneously, it's like I see both sides. On one hand, as a collector and as somebody who buys like rare sneakers, and I collect like stickers and skate decks, and they even have like manga that's out of print and everything like that, or if it gets real, like I understand the appeal to having something that's exclusive or something that not everybody has. However, I think most people, I don't even know if it's most people, I think when it comes to something like this, a lot of people kind of don't want that to really be a thing when it comes to the cards. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like a gacha game, right, which this is, typically, let's say there's a character that comes out, a card that comes out, a unit that comes out, whatever. If you missed out on it because you weren't playing the game back then, it usually comes back around. I don't expect them to ever recycle promo cards. And in fact, I would maybe even argue that that would be kind of lame if they did do that. So you would expect them to always have something new, a new promo card they're not going to bring back. But there's a reason why these sets, as they've been releasing, they're still there for you to go back to if you want. So you can still go get cards that you missed out on, whether it's because you just didn't get them at the time or you weren't playing the game at the time, right? It seems to me that the way this is going to function is that the sets are just going to be there forever. You can always go back to it. That might change in the future, but for now, that seems like how it's going to be the case. And I actually applaud that. I think that's really cool, as opposed to like other systems, let's say like a Genshin Impact or a Honkai Star Rail, where you have this banner that comes out, it's the featured 5-star character, here's the 4-stars that come along with them. You have 30 days or however, 30, 40 days to summon for them, then that banner goes away and it gets replaced with the next one. But eventually, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, that character that came out at this point is going to come back around alongside maybe a new character, and you can pick and choose, okay, do I want this one or the one that I missed out on, and so on and so forth, right? Whereas in this game, they kind of just leave it there permanently for you to always go back to, which I think is dope. But yeah, I say all that to say, going off all these tangents, that I don't have the Lapras, man, and I really want that Lapras card, even though I probably wouldn't even use it at this point now just because we're so far, but like I really wanted to use it at one point. Maybe I would just cause, you know what I'm saying, just because I didn't get to before. I might build something with it just for the hell of it, but I didn't get that card even though I was playing the game at the time, because I was just really unlucky, and it would just be dope to be able to trade those, because I have an excess of like basically every other promo card that's released since then, because I've been playing a lot and played even more since that time, and I would like to go back and get the ones that I missed out on. I think a lot of other people feel the same. So when it comes to those promo cards and the rarity cards, it's just because like you're not like money wise, like that don't even really affect you, because you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the promos, and I guess they're trying to protect some sort of exclusivity factor, but I don't, you know, I guess the exclusivity factor in this game is really just having the cards of the higher rarity, and then like you could argue that promo cards are rare cards, and I guess they are, but it's just like, it just kind of sucks, is what it is. But if they are actually going to do something where they allow you to trade promo cards and 2-star rarity cards, they will get some moderate applause from me, because that will be indication to me that they're actually listening, like genuinely listening to the community's feedback. These changes are good, but I don't want to like be like, oh my, yo, Pokemon Company, huge W, like this, so, because like it just should have been this way from the start, and it's something I'm trying to get like not consistent with, but like that's a position I'm trying to hold more often, where it's like, there are certain things, like games come out sometimes and they're either lacking certain features or things aren't functioning a certain way or whatever, and then it gets added in DLC or as an update, and everyone's like, oh, massive W, they listened, but it's like, yeah, sure, but it should have been that way from the start. And this is one of those things where I feel like it should have just been that way. Like, first of all, trading should have been in the game when the game came out. It's called Trading Card Game Pocket. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket should have been there from the start. They added it later, okay, whatever. Then they added it and it sucks. So like these changes, while they're good and I'm happy about that, you only get but so much praise from me. So moving forward, when you add if you do, you making it seem like you are, so I hope that they do. If and when you add trading promo cards to 2 stars, I'm gonna be happy about that. I'll be excited. I'll actually have a use for the feature now, and I know that myself and plenty of other whales out there, even though we spend a lot of money in the game, there's a lot of us that don't have everything, you know what I'm saying? And there's a bunch of 2-star cards I'm still missing from every set. Actually, I'm only missing 1 from Mythical Island. I'm still missing a handful from Generating Apex, and as of this recording, I'm still missing 3, I think, from Triumphant Light, and still missing a couple from Space Time Smackdown as well. So like, if you add those, I actually have a use for it, and even if it costs a lot, I'm more than willing to spend my excess of shine dust on that. So we'll see how it works. I gotta imagine that the way they're gonna go about it is that like it's gonna cost significantly more shine dust, and like I think that would be fair. It's like, let's just make up some numbers, right? Let's just say if it costs 5,000 shine dust to trade a 1-star card, right? Instead of the however many tokens was, like 500 tokens. Let's say it costs 5,000 shine dust. If you make it so that it costs 50,000 shine dust in order to trade a 2-star rarity card, it's like, yeah, that's a lot. Only people who have already spent a lot on the game are going to be able to do that, but you also just won't be able to spam it either, so they're not just losing out on all this money from people just spending more on the game in order to chase those cards. Like, again, I'm just pulling numbers out of thin air. You could tell me whether or not you think of a ratio like that would be fair or reasonable, whatever. Like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know the exact number that would make me happy personally. What would be too much or too little? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That to me matters significantly more than the erasure of the trade tokens, even though that does matter, because this would actually make the feature useful and fun for the majority of the players who currently aren't taking advantage of this. So yeah, that's the most important part of all of this. We will see in due time. Like, I guess they're saying, what did they say, autumn 2025? Well, actually, they said we introduced a font updates to trading that will be implemented by the end of autumn 2025. Doesn't necessarily mean, because like all of this means that this is by autumn 2025. That doesn't necessarily mean that this will be by the end of the year, because who knows when they actually do this. And I guess they're doing their research and their speculation, their planning, and they're like, okay, how do we do this so that, players can trade these rarities without us losing too much money? There's plenty of ways to do it, and even if you just want to make us that the in-game currency cost is just super high, like that's a lazy but easy way of doing it if you really want to do that, and I wouldn't be mad at that. I honestly wouldn't be mad at that, but we'll see. I yapped about this way more than I thought I was going to. It's nearly 20 minutes. I don't know how I made a video almost 20 minutes long about this, but I'm passionate. I care a lot about this game. I want this game to be successful and continue to be popular, and I play it almost every day. So you know what I'm saying, I log in basically every day. There are some days where I do just log in, rip up my free packs, and I log out, but I do log in and play the game almost every day. So anyway, yeah, that's basically everything I have to say about this. You guys let me know, is this a step in the right direction for you? Are you excited about this? How do you feel? Are you looking forward to what the future of trading in the game might hold? So on and so forth, blah blah. Let your boy know in the comments down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay tuned for all this content when I'm bringing you. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. And remember, nothing can happen until you swing the bat. Later.